Hello everyone, welcome to this video, and we are going to talk about redistribution of items in JiPOS version 3 and of course later versions. Now, once you log into the system, redistribution happens in two places. We have got an option of multiple bulk redistribution of items and single redistribution of items within an item's profile. What is the purpose of redistribution? The main purpose of redistribution in this particular system is to associate an item that is registered in the item list, as we saw in our initial videos, is to associate an already registered item to different stores. That means I can have three stores. I can have a main store, I can have a store X, and I can have a restaurant store. So you want your registered item to be available or associated with the main store and the restaurant and not store X. Sometimes you want an item registered to be associated only with the restaurant and not any other store. Yes, that is what you want to do. And the main reason as to why we are associating an item with a given store is to allow us control the stock independently. That means you can control and monitor the stocks per store or per selling point or per branch. It will also help us do movements. These movements include sale from a given store, movement of stock directly from one store to the other, movement through requisition, wastages, recording, purchases and receiving of goods into a given store. It will also help us just do all those particular aspects about item movement per given store. So that is the main purpose of redistribution. So if you are going to sell an item from a given selling point, if that item is not redistributed to that selling point, it won't be available for sale from that selling point. So that means you can have an item registered in your item list. You can have an item registered in your item list, and you can miss that item at the selling point. What are we saying? For example, I've got my bottles here of Minute Maid, and if you look at the store distribution, it is nowhere within the particular store. If I go to my selling point and select main store, I'll not find any item. I cannot find my Minute Maid even if I search for it. Or if I select any other store like restaurant, I'm not going to find any item. That is because, well, the items are registered into the system, they're found in the item list, but then they're not redistributed, they are not associated. I cannot even move stock. I cannot even do a requisition if I don't associate this item with the stores that I want to use in doing these operations. So that is the main, or those are the main reasons why we have to do redistributions immediately after registering an item. Now, I'm going to pick this particular single item, and that is Minute Maid 500 ml, and I'm going to do redistribution of a single item. So this is the first option that we want to use. If I have to do redistribution for a single item, this Minute Maid, I want to associate it with my main store and my restaurant store. So I'll come here to the item profile, and there's this particular button here, redistribute. Click on that. I'll say main store, then submit. Successful. My main store already is associated with this item. I can as well associate this particular item with the restaurant. So what do you have to know? If I want to move this particular stock at some point from the main store to the restaurant, or I want to make a requisition from the restaurant to the main store, then this particular item must be redistributed on both stores so that there can be a communication. If I fail to do a redistribution from the main store, but then I put this item to be associated with the restaurant, then I cannot do a transfer from main store to the restaurant because this item is not associated with the main store. So you have to ensure that if you want to move this item at any given point in time from one store to another through requisition or direct movement, then it has to be redistributed to both stores or all those particular stores. Now I can even redistribute to the store X that we did submit this to, we did create earlier on, and that is it. So if I want to delete, I just click delete and that will go. And if you can see, I just did redistribute to store X and I've deleted it. So that is how you're going to do single, or let me just say single redistribution within an item profile. So in this particular tab, it will show you which stores these particular items are associated with and what are the stock balances in those stores, and of course the value. And this can also be shown here. You will see it here just within the item profile. Now there is also a way to do bulk redistribution. Just assuming I deleted all this, just delete that again from the item profile, and I had like a list of 20, 30, 100, 1,000 items. I want to associate them all at once with my main store, or with my restaurant store, or with my store X, or with my branch Z. Yeah, how do I do that? I'll come to products and go to stock balances, and in this particular section you will see this particular redistribute items button. So I select that, I want to redistribute to the main store. I can select all items. It will pick all items from my items list, or I can decide to just bulk select a given set or group of items. So that particular selection input allows you to select multiple items. So in this case, I'll just select all and I'll click yes, I want to distribute, and I'll just submit. Now if I want to redistribute, moving this particular item into this particular stock with into this particular stores with an opening stock, I'll do a yes. This is something you're not going to do always. In fact, I recommend that you don't do it, so that most of the time you just do your stock takes and move forward. That is something that we discuss in our other video about stock taking. So I'll click redistribute, check, then submit. What is the purpose of rollback? If I redistribute all these items to this store and I want to undo that particular action, then I'll go through the same procedure and select rollback. It will undo or remove or delete these items from these particular stores. If I want to override stock, that means I've already distributed before, but then there was that particular opening balance that is existing in the item profile. I want to override and insert this particular opening balances to this particular store. I'll do that. So that is the purpose of those particular three radio buttons. So I'll redistribute and submit. What happens if I go to the items list, I go to Minute Maid, I redistribute, I'll see this is in the main store. If I also go back to the second item called soda, I'll also come here and see this has also been redistributed. Now, where else can I easily see this instead of picking them one by one? I just go back to where was stock balances, and there's an option here to select. So I'll select main store, that is where I distributed these items to. It will display me this particular table. Minute Maid and soda has been redistributed here. If I select restaurant, there is nothing that has been redistributed here. So I can decide to redistribute all the items again to restaurant store and submit. And you'll see the restaurant, because it's already pre-selected, it will get me those items here. So that is how to do redistribution, either single entry distribution within an item profile or bulk redistribution within this particular stock balances page. And how to undo the bulk redistribution, I told you, you can come here and say restaurant, pick all the items, roll back and submit. You see, all of that disappears. I can do it again. I can redistribute again to the restaurant, all of them, and I show you the second way of deleting them within this particular window. That is for bulk. I can select all, can select these ones and delete them through this particular button, delete store items. That will still go. Or I can individually go to the item profile. Let me pick main store. Go to the item profile like Minute Maid and delete that within that particular profile. So that is how to do a redistribution, and I'm just going to ensure that my restaurant also have these particular items distributed, and now they can be even available for sale. So thank you for staying tuned, and ensure that you subscribe to watch our next videos on JiPOS version 3 and of course any other latest version.